It's a neat idea, but it's wholly lost in this melange of underwritten characters and awful dialogue. The Irish Times. There are about 3 minutes of funny material, and pretty much all of them are in the trailer. Variety. A flawed film that serves up just enough of a good time. The Independent Critic. Disposable comedy. Time Out. The general tone, nevertheless, makes it difficult to elevate the gags beyond an occasional chuckle. Variety. These are review quotes from both of our films this week. Hard to tell which film they described, though, huh? We watched Happy Gilmore and Pixels.
Ah, the French champagne.
Can you tell me which members of the Reservoir Dogs you two are currently dressed as?
I'm Mr. Pink.
Sis Blue.
So Miranda hasn't seen Reservoir Dogs.
Secret Nazis.
Yeah.
Secret Nazis.
Classic Spielberg.
Classic Spielberg.
He needs to kill 94 different 65-year-old men over 2.5 years because those men's children are all identical clones of Adolf Hitler.
There's like a bunch of other shit that happens in Driven.
Is there?
Shake it! Shake it!
The schlocky movie from this week may be the schlockiest film we've ever seen on this podcast.
The Citizen Kane of the week is... I was wondering if you were going to give it away or not. I was like, this could be either movie, but thanks for just making it clear.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think if anything, that just points out that film critics don't have any idea what they're talking about.
Sure.
I think a little bit.
Yeah. I'll agree
Except
with the
us.
broadness of that statement.
You'd agree with the broadness of that statement?
I do,
right.
yeah.
In the way that like who really knows anything, right?
Yeah, man. Nihilism, you know?
Like, what are we even? Okay, so welcome to Citizen Kane versus.
Like, what are we even doing right now?
What are we even doing? This is what we're doing. This is a podcast, if somehow you didn't catch on to that, where we compare a movie that's more of a classic, whatever that means, to a movie that's more on the schlocky side, whatever schlock is. And we ask ourselves, honestly, which is better? My name is Jack Rennie, and I'm joined by my two friends, a one.
Sean Jacqueline. No.
And the munchie.
Daniel Benoit?
That's you.
Okay.
Mr. Hungry Man over here.
Yeah. Anybody who just tuned into this podcast has no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, no, they get it.
Oh, yeah, they
If you've been
Oh.
watching live on Twitch right now, you would have had minutes of unedited chewing footage.
We got to
You're
tease
welcome.
the other content, right? That's part of it.
Yeah.
And speaking of, look, like if you're with us today, thanks so much. We really appreciate it. And we, of course, appreciate it as well if you want to like, subscribe, do any of those things. Rate and review is a big thing on the podcast apps. We're on all of them. We got an Instagram at Citizen Kane VS Podcast. We got a Twitter at Citizen Kane VS. We have a YouTube channel. We're on Twitch. We're all over the place. So you can find us, follow us, like us. And mainly, if you just want to join our very weird cause of, it's becoming more and more of a weird thing now of kind of coaxing.
Yeah. It's getting kind of sad.
Yeah.
We gotta wrap it back around to funny.
Yeah, we do have to bring it back to funny at some point. So of getting Carrie Elways on the show. We have a hashtag for that too, which is hashtag come on Carrie. You know, like come on the show. Hashtag come on Carrie. So that's the quick call to action, as it were. You know the drill. So Dan pitched these movies last week.
I did.
It's all Dan's fault, but it's not really a fault.
It's all Dan's gift to you two and the world.
Yeah, that's the word.
It was a better week than Orgasmo and Bucky Larson.
Oh, for
I think I can
sure.
say. Yeah.
Oh, 1,000,000%. I had a pretty good time.
I had a fantastic time.
Okay.
We'll save it for the pod, Dan. Do you want to hit us?
I can't. What?
Do you want to either you can snack a bit more, or you could give us some summaries? Which one?
Can I do both? I have a jar of nuts here. Can I just have like a mouthful of nuts as I give you these kick-ass summaries?
Absolutely.
Sorry,
Okay.
Sean says no.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so just the nuts then.
Just
Yes.
the nuts, please.
Yes, please.
Okay, nuts in my mouth. Now here we go. In the red corner, representing the classics, an aspiring but hopeless hockey player with superhuman slapshot power who uses this otherwise useless skill to climb the ranks of professional golf to save his grandmother's house from being lost. Coming in at 92 minutes, starring Adam Sandler and Christopher McDonald. Happy Gilmore!
You suck, jackass.
And in the blue corner, representing the schlock, a middle-aged, schlubbish TV technician and world-class competitor in arcade games from the early 80s, who uses this otherwise useless skill to save the world from an invasion by aliens who have chosen to take the form of classic arcade game characters after seeing a video of a video game tournament that NASA sent into space for some reason. Coming in at 105 minutes, starring Adam Sandler and Kevin James, Pixels!
That's President Kevin James.
Right. That's true. That's true.
And I see what you did there, Dan.
What did I
do? The otherwise useless skills. Yeah, that's very clever.
Thank you. And I say that because I didn't realize until I was like halfway through Happy Gilmore that these two movies are a lot more similar than I originally thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like he follows a format.
Yeah.
It's almost.
Yeah. Nope, go.
I will say that I had a better time watching these movies than I kind of thought I would. I was worried because I know Adam Sandler, right? And this movie made me like
You know him personally?
question myself. I know him. Yeah.
You know Adam? Come on, Adam.
I mean Adam. He goes by. I call him Addy.
You both you both bar mitzvah relatively the same time.
We did. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. But it made me really question how I look at Adam Sandler. I'm not gonna lie. This week it made me do some real reflecting. I think because I was worried Happy Gilmore wasn't gonna hold up, and it holds up pretty well in my opinion.
Pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Pixels wasn't bad. It's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb.
Wow, that's bad too, though.
But as soon as you
bad,
accept that it's just a stupid movie, which you pick up on pretty fast once you learn that Kevin James is president of the United States.
Yeah.
Then you can buckle up for the ride.
All right,
and
but
it's
I'd
a great
argue
time.
that there's a lot of bad things they did with their stupid movies. So
Yes. Oh, there are.
But that's because you hate fun, Sean.
you don't like monkeys playing sports, so we have in
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, you don't like movies about small-dicked porn stars, so
I do not. That is correct.
So then we
I am very
have
biased.
reached an accord, sir.
Well, let's just jump into it right away. Let's not even mess around this week. Let's jump into story because I want to talk about some story. So, round one, freaking story good. Boom. So,
Yeah.
here's the first thing I'm going to say. I'm going to jump in with some realness. I'm
Do it.
jumping in with the realness. Happy Gilmore, because it's like the first one, right? Happy Gilmore was before Billy Madison.
I think Billy Madison was the first one, yeah.
Okay, regardless.
Same writers for Pixels, Happy Gilmore, and Billy Madison,
Wasn't it Adam Sandler? Didn't he write all of them?
and his college friend.
The guy who plays the homeless caddy, right?
No, not him.
Oh, okay.
But Happy Gilmore, it comes across like, so he is like, the story of that is about, he is this schlub. That's like Adam Sandler's thing. That's his shtick, is the schlub, to making his schlock. And he plays this kind of guy who wears hockey jerseys to any event and, like very not hoity-toity, right? He's the average guy stereotype. So he comes in and it's like professional golf, which is like notoriously snooty and like exclusive and exclusionary and all this kind of stuff. So it comes across a little bit like maybe how Adam Sandler was being treated in Hollywood. You know what I mean? That Hollywood is exclusive and hoity-toity and like wants to take itself very seriously and doesn't take kindly to someone just wanting to come and do things that like make people want to watch. And like, you may not like it, but it has viewers, and those viewers are just as entitled to have something to watch as anyone else. And I started thinking about that, and thinking about my own fucking kind of hoity-toity attitude towards Adam Sandler, and I was like, I think I'm the golf snob in this scenario, and it just made me. It actually set me up to watch Pixels in a better way, because I was like, this is, and it's also for him. It's like I don't care. Adam Sandler's like, I want to make movies that I think are fun, and like I don't give a shit what. Like he doesn't give a fuck about the Oscars. He doesn't give a shit about, like, he doesn't care. He's not trying to make those movies. Mm-hmm. And I kind of think that's dope. Rant over.
Okay.
Wasn't Adam Sandler like, because he had Billy Madison first, and then that was kind of his, because he was on SNL, and then he kind of broke out with Billy Madison. So by the time that Happy Gilmore came around, he was kind of he was already kind of A-list,
he was a star.
right?
He was a pretty big star.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess that makes sense that he'd kind of like broken into the upper echelon of Hollywood and realized that they were all kind of pompous douches.
Yeah, he's walking and being like, hey, what about? And they were
making $20 million more than than Godfather 3 or whatever was being released around the same time.
I'm sure there were tons of Shooter McGavin types being like, I'm the real focus here. Don't pull my focus. Like,
we've all worked with them.
I'm what the viewers want, or I'm what they want. Yeah,
Yeah.
So there might be some meta stuff in there, and it changed me watching this movie again, because I've seen it many times in my life. Happy Gilmore. Not Pixels.
I love the theory, but after watching a lot of Adam Sandler movies, I have to imagine that you're giving him far too much credit.
Maybe.
I think you are.
I don't know. I'm just saying I need to take a step back and reevaluate it all. Because as we know, Adam Sandler, as we've seen, he clearly, when he wants to, can do incredible work.
Brilliant stuff.
That's true. That's true.
Incredible serious turns, dramatic turns, romantic turns. He can do it.
Yeah. So I guess the question is it a style he's chosen, or is it a style that he's just comfy in and can't really be bothered to push that when he's getting an all expenses paid trip to wherever these films are being made, and he can bring his family, and in this case put his family in the film.
Yes.
And he can
well, I think that he's kind of just stumbled into realizing that people enjoy watching Adam Sandler just wear fucking shorts and sweaters and be Adam Sandler for
around.
An hour and a
half.
half.
And honestly, I would not do any different. If I could make a paycheck going to places on some company dime and like barely trying, I would do that. No hesitation.
But I don't know. I mean, now, like the movies he makes now, yeah, sure, barely trying, absolutely. But a lot, like most of his earlier movies,
he's trying tons. But like, he was not present for Pixels in any of those scenes.
I mean,
I don't know.
When he gets to try and kiss the pretty girl, sure, he's there. But like,
well, I was gonna say,
man,
like, we can talk about this more later. But I'm slightly embarrassed to admit how charming I thought his relationship with her was.
What the fuck is wrong? What?
Yeah, I know. When it started, I was like, oh, here we go again. Fucking classic story of like smoking hot girl who falls for the fucking schlubby fucking everyman who doesn't brush his teeth because he doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Zero effort other than like being coy.
And like nagging the shit out of her.
And being like, oh, you don't want to kiss me? Why? Because you're a prude? He's like, no, maybe she's in an emotional state and kissing her right then would have been a shitty thing to do as a human being.
You walked into her closet while she was crying alone when she doesn't know you, and then you lean in to kiss her.
And then I was like, you're a snob.
Yeah, so that all of that was awful. But as it like evolved, and again, this is after I had kind of like resigned myself to the fact that I was watching a ridiculous film. Like there was no hoping for any kind of realism or like grounded narrative in this movie.
No.
Right.
So I was just kind of, I bought in fully, and I was fucking into it, man.
And I'll say I can kind of agree.
Thank you.
The movie is doing a good job at doing like movie manipulation.
Yeah.
The situation is fucked, but they're
so fucked. But
they're like, the actors are acting like it's normal and it's okay, that you're like, aw. But when you
Yeah.
think about it, you're like, oh, every woman in this movie is a trophy, including the woman who's a literal trophy at the end of the movie.
And
Yeah.
he doesn't speak a word.
No, that he.
Ashley Benson, did she have nothing else to do? She could have.
Is she like a name? I don't know who that is.
She's a pretty famous, like, young, like, generation below us star. I think she was in like Pretty Little Liars or something. One of those shows.
Okay, yeah.
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that it was probably some stunt casting in the same way that Jane Krakowski was stunt casting in this movie. Like,
or Jane Krakowski.
Yeah.
Just written.
I didn't know why
nothing.
they could have cast anybody in that part.
Anybody.
Yeah,
And
it
why
didn't
would
make
you-
any sense to me.
And why would you get the amazing Jane Krakowski and not have her?
Be
Why
amazing.
isn't she the
Yeah.
president? Because she would be better.
Oh,
'cause
that
Kevin
would have been
James-
so much better.
Kevin James needed a part in his buddy's film.
What they should have done, and it like what would have made more sense to me, and I shouldn't really say this because I think that Josh Gad was the standout of this movie, but
Yeah.
what they should have done was taken Josh Gad out.
Did we watch
Sean-
I'm wondering if we watched the same movie.
He's a delight in this movie.
They should have taken Josh Gad out, put Kevin James as like the chubby conspiracy theorist friend, put Jane Krakowski as the president, and then kept Adam Sandler as Adam Sandler. Or no, yeah, that's what it would.
This is going to be a bad week for me. I can already tell.
Yeah.
Why did you hate it so much?
What was it like? It was.
Tell
it was
me your gripe with-
lazy with Josh
Sure,
Gad. I
with
find
Josh
him
Gad.
bad in everything I watch him. I do not enjoy any performance he has ever given. This one is a standout amongst that. I thought he was annoying from moment one, and I did not enjoy anything he did.
Oh, I think he's pretty funny.
But
I might be
Amanda
biased.
Bynes, a treasure.
Yeah, yeah. At least she's trying things.
What was Josh Gad? We're an
How
Josh
dare
Gad was
you.
just
How
doing
dare
the
you.
thing he does.
Oh man, well, anyway. So
Okay, well, let's talk about the stories of
The
these movies.
story.
So you go ahead, Jack. I won't. I'm
no,
not gonna take your
go.
role
I
here.
was just gonna keep it going. You had a note you were looking at or something. Go ahead.
I guess my biggest issue with Pixels, it wasn't even the fact that it was aliens coming down as pixelated arcade game characters. Like
Yeah,
that was all
everybody-
We
fine.
can
Like,
hand that we can hand wave. That's fine.
Well, no, like
happy to do that.
I think the inciting incident for me was the most ridiculous part of this. The fact that for some reason NASA has decided to attend an arcade tournament and
Yeah.
send the video footage from that tournament into space.
Along
For
with the
what?
music, and it's supposed to be one of those like time capsule things that we've
Did
been
they say that
launching
it
into
was-
space?
Did they say that it was going along with other stuff, or was it?
Yeah,
It
'cause-
did not, or did it?
I don't know whether it did, but I assumed it did because they used the footage of other things they sent to
Right.
manipulate their voices and make them
Which
understandable
I
to us.
thought was an actually pretty cool convention.
Yeah.
They're like
It was fun.
I will give it
faking
that.
celebrity, like old celebrity footage. to
Ronald
use that
Reagan
as an-
giving an ultimatum to the world.
To send,
great.
to send threatening video game based ultimatums. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
pretty
Max
out there.
Headroom. Yeah.
I thought it was a mistake. Look, the conceit of the movie is I'm happy to go like it's a movie. So like set up your conceit and fucking go for it, right?
Go for it.
I thought it was a missed opportunity at the end though that they go up under the mud like it doesn't make sense that the civilization was also like all video game based as opposed to like if they created video game like soldiers as it were based on these games to use as attack things.
That's what they were doing. They said
Yeah.
the little fucking orange trophy alien
Yeah. It was like
said that
they're
the
making-
mothership
yeah.
was creating video game characters.
No, I know, but like the mothership, I don't know if it also should have looked like a video game. It should look maybe it's like or like if I wanted a moment where they get beamed up at the end and they beat Donkey Kong and they act like Donkey Kong is the main alien or something.
Yeah, or he's the
Whereas-
boss of the final game.
You know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
think there was a missed opportunity to show the actual alien like up in a thing, like playing with like doing.
You see the alien momentarily before Ronald Reagan is like CG'd over top.
Oh,
of
right,
it.
you do.
Just like for a brief
Oh,
second.
yeah, like the silver
but it's a
face.
standard like signs kind of alien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it would have
But-
been funny if you saw it actually like playing the game
oh,
to
against
control
them?
Donkey Kong.
That would
you
have
know?
been funny.
Oh,
yeah.
that would
and
have
it's
been
like
good.
and it looks like a kid.
Yeah.
But it also didn't make any sense to me. I mean, again, making sense is kind of out the window with this film, but I thought it was silly that once they had won the tournament, the aliens had like beaten them in their video game challenge, that they just stayed as video game characters for the rest of the invasion instead of just coming down with like their actual alien warriors as themselves.
Yeah,
and
but then
you
it's
know-
a
you know what I
horror
mean?
film, right? Then they have to show the like mutilations by alien weaponry, and the kids kind of tune out at that point.
That's true.
And like
That's a
the
good point.
CG department was focused on making like pixelated things, not like an alien race. It's a whole
Right.
different design team.
Oh yeah, like you got to bring LucasArts in at that time at that point, and
Ugh. And they cost a lot of money.
they're expensive.
No, thank you. Yeah, it's a very, very weird conceit, and there's also like weird story beats. Because can someone explain to me? So the aliens make this what they consider to be a response to the Earth's declaration of war of this video game tournament somehow.
Yeah, they interpreted receiving this data as
As
the
the
declaration of
declaration
war.
of
Them being like,
dominance.
here is where we do combat. Now
Yeah.
you must come do combat.
Yeah, show us.
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Sure, right? And so they're like, we agree to your three lives terms and whatever. And then the humans beat two of them ridiculously, and then the aliens are like, you cheated,
Yeah.
and so you lose. And I was like, oh, and in the movie they're like, what? How did we cheat? And I was like, indeed. How did they cheat? And the movie's like, anyway, moving on to the finale of the
It
movie.
was Peter. It was
Oh
Peter
yeah, they
Dinklage.
explained that. Peter
Yeah.
has, but their explanation.
Oh, it was
He used
literally
cheat
that.
codes.
Oh,
Yes,
I did
with-
not
Cheat codes
make that
somehow.
connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
somehow.
that annoyed me so much because how the fuck do cheat codes for an arcade game allow your real
Working
life
it.
car?
Working a Mini Cooper? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a manufacturing thing. If you pop the glove compartment, there's a little panel. You can put in all the old Atari cheat codes, and the car
Gotcha.
will do whatever it does. Yeah.
I
gotcha.
also love that the cheats carved into his glasses weren't even like number sequences.
They're
were
like an
full
alien
on-
language.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
swirls and like glyphs.
This movie is like one of the reviews says it's a brilliant concept that no one followed through on. Absolutely no one took, except maybe the graphics department, took the
Yeah.
time to like flesh it out and make it understandable and a real living thing. They just were like, that'll do, and moved on to the next scene.
But I don't know that this movie needed to be fleshed out more. Like this movie doesn't
Yes, it
work.
did.
No, okay. Explain to me how this movie can be developed into a more like
Because it
grounded,
should be,
well-rounded film. Like because it seems like it's
should be
supposed
a
to be
stupid movie.
Yeah, it's like a
right?
90-minute
Should be a
fluff
stupid
film.
We could
It's
have
for
character
sure
development.
not supposed
to. We could have character development that isn't Schlub finds the girl by using his video game skills. It can be like he actually does some soul searching and realizing there are flaws within himself that he has to get over before he can attain the ultimate goal. And then all along the way, he makes his friends. Yeah, more interesting. You know what does follow the hero's journey really well? Happy Gilmore. Hits every single beat of the hero's journey perfectly, and that's a very entertaining story arc.
Yeah, I mean, does he? Right, because he has to not be so angry.
He has to calm himself and change a little bit. But along the way, he meets the wizened old professor who guides him, and ultimately he loses that, and he can't rely on his help anymore to.
I'm familiar
achieve his
with
goal.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It's a much better written story than Pixels was, and I think that's where Pixels fails. If they had had the concept with a better
Yeah,
written story,
for
it would have been a
sure.
better film.
Yeah,
But the thing is that I agree. I agree that Happy Gilmore is a better written film. But it also takes place entirely in like a grounded reality, right? Like Happy Gilmore is just about people playing golf. So
Yeah.
it's easy to
Yeah.
make that more of a human character-driven movie, albeit kind of silly and comedic. I don't know how you
Tin
do
Cup
that
would
with
like to have a word.
who?
Tin Cup, terrible golf movie.
Well, I'm saying it allows for a movie to be more of a grounded character-driven film. I'm not saying that golf equals good film. I'm saying
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just it happens in the real world. When you're dealing with a movie about fucking cartoon character aliens invading the world, challenging you to a best of 3 tournament.
Here's how I simply will answer your question. Picture Pixels if done by Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Edgar Wright.
Oh, that's a pretty fun movie, yeah.
All right, okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
But also shut up. Yeah, there's no denying.
I desperately want that movie now.
right? Would that not have been a blow your mind adventure?
But didn't they do? Did you ever see that movie, fucking Paul? It was Nick Frost. Yeah, and like
it wasn't
aliens,
Edgar Wright though.
No, but it was Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, and it was like.
I imagine it'd be closer to the End of the World or whatever that one was.
Yeah.
Which also wasn't.
Fun.
It was fun, but it
was fun.
More fun than Pixels.
Yeah,
But we're not comparing those this week.
Dan, don't even.
Okay.
There's no denying. Look, Happy Gilmore definitely has a better story. It's definitely more grounded and still gets to kind of have its cake and eat it too and be a totally silly movie with a ridiculous concept that's like, kind of hero gets to be the hero sort of from nothing. At least we get the idea. They both worked hard when they were young, kind of, and it just sort of pays off later.
Both start with flashbacks to the critical moments of their youth.
Yep. The flashback. Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
No, except that in Pixels, he doesn't really work hard. They make a point of saying that he's just an immediate genius and takes one trip to an arcade and suddenly is entering a world championship tournament.
Yeah, the flashback sequence. First of all, the flashback sequence, it does kind of suck in Pixels. It's
so
pretty
suck.
It's pretty fun, and like I'll have notes like this actually throughout for Happy Gilmore of how they use all kinds of movie making to tell the story in really, really impressive ways, including things like that flashback. It's pretty silly narration over it, and the shots they use and how they communicate that, like how the father dies and all this stuff. Like it's all pretty out there, but it's a much stronger. Like you really do learn about this character. It's narration, it's exposition, but it's done in a way that it could be so boring. Like so many movies give exposition and stuff like that in really boring ways. And it's fun, stupid. And Adam Sandler makes everything his dick.
Yeah.
In that thing. But when he does it once, it's like, oh shit, Adam. And then he does it like 7 times and somehow it becomes funny again.
Yeah. That's Adam Sandler's comedy.
Yeah. So, like there were a lot of people working on Happy Gilmore that were really caring, and it comes through a lot. I think the relationship side of it still suffers a lot. The relationship with the main woman is still horse shit.
At least.
Go ahead, Sean. There you go.
I was going to say, at least like you can kind of see her be important and do things, but no, every scene she like says something and then some man in the room was like, no, that's dumb. We're doing this, which is the same in Pixels as well, until the end when she does a sweet backflip.
Sweet. I mean, it's
yeah,
pretty sweet.
I really wish they had like highlighted her parkour skills earlier in the film to make that scene make any sense.
Yeah, so it's not like, we forgot she's in the army. Maybe we should show her being a badass once. So they're like, write it in the end. Okay, done.
It was silly. Whereas I can't remember her name in Happy Gilmore, but she just stops doing her job for the last act of the movie, and she is now just his girlfriend.
Just his girlfriend.
And it's not like she's left her job. She just doesn't do her job anymore, which is a shame.
Yeah. She arranged events for the PGA or the not PGA.
She was a publicist. She was a PR person.
Right.
It's a definite conflict of interest. So maybe she was fired.
Yeah, maybe they fired her.
Because she's like, no, I don't date golfers. And he's like, that's okay. I'm a hockey player.
Maybe she sacrificed her job for true love,
Maybe. True love with, Yes.
I mean, that would be funny because she literally risked her job to keep him in the tournament.
Yeah.
And then lost her job to keep him in the tournament, even though she was right the first time when he brought the tournament a bunch of money and ratings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there more in the Ben Stiller nursing home storyline I thought there was resolution to that. I thought there was some like full arc.
I think they may have cut it. I think those ended up being like bonus scenes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a good point though, because I remember that being more kind of fleshed out.
As it is, he's only in like 3 scenes.
Uh-huh.
And I thought he definitely got his comeuppance at the end or something.
Yeah, he gets like punched at a window or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what I remember.
I didn't care for that storyline very much.
No, if there'd been more, I think it would have been great.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I think I made a note about how I would have enjoyed that storyline more had it not been like way too real. Like
Sure.
if there weren't a real issue with senior citizens being just completely abused in these old folks' homes, then I would have found that storyline a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah,
You mean
it's
when
a
the
little-
woman jumps on their windshield and says, "Please get me the hell out of here"?
and he
Yeah,
throws
or-
food at her.
Yeah. Or like when Ben Stiller literally threatens Adam Sandler's
kill?
grandmother with murder. Yeah.
Multiple times.
When he's
Yeah.
running a sweatshop out of the
Yeah.
during
That
craft
is
time.
kind of funny.
Craps time's extended 4 more hours today.
Oh, my fingers hurt.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, boy.
But in terms of relationships, I mean, I do agree. I think that that's where I find it really lazy, where you have just kind of like the given storyline that these women are just going to fall for Adam Sandler because he's just like the laid back guy. And it's frustrating because he can do, like you pointed out earlier, Jack, he can do the like charming romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, he
the
did
Wedding
really
Singer.
well. 51st
Wedding
Dates.
Singer, 51st Dates, Click. He's really charming in Click. No.
Whoa.
I know that you're kind of not joking. It's just
I'm
funny
not
to
joking.
use it
I'm
as the
not
third,
joking.
as like the anchor of that list.
I haven't seen.
I'm
Click.
just saying, Adam Sandler can do heart
People?
and romance.
Yeah.
I've never seen Funny
People's good.
People.
That's good.
Funny People
That's
was
good.
way different.
And Uncut Gems. But yeah, so
I heard he's a real romantic in Uncut Gems.
he's such a
Oh.
romantic.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah, heartthrob of the ages. Yeah, it's just weird, and like it's a problem with Adam Sandler movies at large, where he's like, there's just like, and I guess it's just this because like it's not about being a schlub. Like no one cares about that, right? Like you can be whoever you can just be yourself. It's based in this like that he doesn't have to try,
Yeah.
and it doesn't mean trying not in some sort of like you have to like keep pursuing the woman to make her love you. It's like you also have to like come their way and not act like you are entitled to their love like all these characters seem to be, to the point where again it's like literally negging, where he is
Yeah.
like criticizing her to break her down, and then he like accidentally compliments her and she's like, "Did you just say I have beautiful eyes?" And it's like, yeah, well, he's been telling you that you're shit for an hour, so yeah, now that feels like a nice compliment. He's successfully negged you. Congratulations.
In 2015. I guess this is pre-Me Too, so a different era of filmmaking, I suppose.
I guess so.
Obama was still president, so different world.
Different world. So yeah, I don't know. Whereas, and I agree, Sean, the incorporation of like, I forgot that Chubbs, which
Love
is a great
that name for a character. Yeah.
This is so great.
Yeah.
I thought he was in more of the movie. I forgot
Yeah,
that
me too.
he disappears for like an hour in the middle. That I forgot that Adam Sandler's like, "I don't need you," and he goes off and he does a bunch of stuff on his own, and then comes back later and then does a bit, and then he dies.
And then is killed by his own surprise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, and Dodgeball also follows the same formula, at least with the mentor role, right? Where
Right.
he gets hit by a car, I think, in his Rip Torn's character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So like that, all those characters are better, and I have other notes about like his caddy, like the caddies in general are pretty funny in this movie.
Yeah.
Like it's good. It's just better structured, and for a movie that's like 90 minutes, it's tight.
Yep.
It's a
Gets it
tight
all in
little
there.
structure. There's not much like extra fat in this movie.
No, a little
Or-
repetitive in the end. Probably the final match could have been tightened up by at least like one hole, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, totally. He had to go through his own arc in that
Yeah.
last tournament where he was failing and then he came back, which is good. Like that's
Yeah.
drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I did kind of want a little more of a turning point than just his grandma showing up and being like, I want you to be happy.
I love you.
Yeah.
The conceit of the happy place is kind of funny.
Yeah, it was good. A little offensive for today's tastes, but I understand it from a 1996 perspective.
Yeah. 10-year-old me loved that.
Yeah, of course.
This is going to be probably very un-PC of me, but what is offensive about the happy place, with the exception of the little person on the unicycle?
I mean, that's the most obvious thing.
Another connection to Pixels, also.
Yep. Yeah, true.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
See,
like
I
the
have a
fact
theory.
that like it's like his happy place is like when the woman he likes is like sexualized a whole bunch. But I get like that's what.
But that's just
yeah.
But people
That's
like
happy.
sexual things.
like
Like, that's
yeah.
also
People like
true.
sex
So
and beer. See,
That's-
this is so. I have a
you heard
theory.
it here first, folks.
Theory that Pixels is that Adam Sandler's character in Pixels is actually Happy Gilmore, just 20 years
Hey,
in the future.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Because he does talk about the arcade, right?
He does talk about the asteroids machine that's waiting for him in the fucking golf house.
I would have respected them a lot if they just like dropped that it was the sequel to Happy Gilmore.
Pixels. This is the sequel you didn't know you wanted.
Like they never say his name. He's always just like the arcader, or it's like, oh, he's here. Like, repair guy's here. And then finally, and that like it's saying, it's like, so what's your name? Oh, I'm Happy. People would be like,
And then he like wins the big bad final match with a fucking slap shot of a wheelbarrow or something. Or
Yeah, there we go.
my
Adam.
nostalgia brain would eat that movie.
yeah.
Of course. I'm sure
know?
that's Ready Player One. A lot of that in there, I'm sure.
Right.
Just get Happy Gilmore in there.
Yeah, I don't care about Ready Player One. I'm not saying nostalgia. I'm saying I would appreciate that level of like dumb nostalgia where it's like, yeah, this is the sequel to Happy Gilmore Pixels. Any other story notes that we want to hit or anything like that?
I feel like there is stuff that could be said about Josh Gad's conspiracy theorist character, but I don't really know what I want to say about it. Besides, I loved him in this movie.
It's kind of weird that he's a conspiracy theorist from childhood.
Yeah. I'd forgotten about his child character completely, and when they were like, I remember, you're my friend, man. I was like, wait, who? Wait, the kid who was like jerking off to the arcade machine?
Yeah, that
That
one.
kid? Oh, okay.
See, I didn't forget that kid because I could say this somewhere, but I'll say it here. That kid, I remembered in particular because he had a wig on,
He
the
was
black
you.
curly
Oh.
wig, to look like Josh Gad, and you could see the kid's blonde hair sticking out from underneath it just by his temple, and it's like really clear.
See?
But I guess the kid was probably itching his wig, and that was also the best take that they got, and they were like, whatever.
Yeah, and it was another moment of good enough.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Move on. Then Dan Aykroyd's there for some reason for one scene.
Yeah, being himself, talking about like looking directly into the camera, being like, "For the aliens are coming," and I was like, "Fuck you, Dan Aykroyd."
Yeah.
You nut.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd. Yeah. And the way they wrote all the scenes in England, which were all just like send-ups of, aren't English people funny sounding? Don't they have accents? Ugh.
And I also didn't like their depiction of the Taj Mahal, which didn't have any people around it. That's
Right,
bullshit.
yeah.
That's not a thing.
You know what was a really interesting story in Pixels? The credits. When they animated the entire movie in 8-bit animation.
Yo,
and
that
I
was
was
cool.
like, this is cool.
Can't tell if you're being sarcastic. I'm pretty
No,
sure
I
you
liked
are.
it.
Really?
No, I'm not. I thought it was legitimately a better storytelling device than the previous 102 minutes had been.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, Sean,
Shut up.
even if you're saying that you liked it, but like in a grumpy tone still. So I actually
yeah,
like,
because this movie
I-
made me grumpy.
Look, I loved it.
I loved it.
I thought it
Okay,
was great.
I loved it as much as Happy Gilmore loves Subway sandwiches.
A lot.
Yeah, I did love that. What I thought was wholly unnecessary in Pixels was the like kind of post-credit 3-second scene where they show that Josh Gad has fucked the video game and now given birth to little
Now
mini.
give birth to the what are they called?
What are the names of them? I want to say like jumbos, but it wasn't that.
Yeah,
It was-
No,
forget.
not nerds. What are the Dang, there's a name for it.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, a part of the movie I will likely forget ever existed.
Oh yeah, and as you should. It's really weird.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
and the
everything about
animation-
that was weird to me.
Yeah.
Sorry, but like the whole idea of like she comes, like that alien comes down as a pixelated, but then not at all pixelated, actually real human girl character,
Yeah,
and then immediately turns on her entire race to fight for the humans.
Obviously.
And then later that character is thrown away, but then they turn the little orange character into her as a trophy that can also reproduce.
I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it works if you think of her mainly as a trophy.
yeah.
Right.
You're thinking of her
Right.
as a person. She's an object
Yeah.
that he won.
He won her after seducing her through no effort.
Yeah. And Peter Dinklage won a three-way
Yeah,
with was it Serena?
Serena
That was-
Williams.
That
and
that made me
Martha
smile.
Stewart.
That
And
was
Martha
that was
Stewart.
pretty fun.
Did it?
Seeing
pretty
Martha
snow.
Stewart
Yeah.
come on to fuck Peter Dinklage, like that's pretty great.
Holding a panini. That's
Yeah.
That's
I'll
what other
take-
movie has that?
I'll take the
That
panini.
is great writing right
And
there.
Serena
I'll take the
Williams is
panini.
in her tennis gear.
Yeah. That was a nice touch.
It's super stupid. It's super fucked and like reinforces
Yeah.
women as trophies. But I'll laugh at it. I'm not
Yeah.
laughing with it.
They're all trophies, aren't they? All the women in this film are trophies because even his main love interest is a trophy he wins by being super good at video games.
Yeah. As he does the pew pews, she's like looking onwardly like,
Yeah, I'm in love now.
yeah.
He also drives like a stunt car racer.
Yeah.
Stunt
that's pretty
car
hot.
Yeah.
driver racer.
Dri-
That was
Yeah.
I
Out
got
of
a little
nowhere.
horny for
Through
Adam
the
Sandler.
streets of downtown Toronto.
We needed
and
a
a
scene,
parkade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Backwards. We needed
Yeah.
a scene where he played one of those like old arcade racing games.
Yeah, like
And,
the
like,
old
he-
Formula One, like
Yeah,
where
where
you're
you
driving up the
sit.
yeah.
Yeah, where you sit in the thing and you drive it. We needed like a version of where he did that to establish that he got
Yeah.
even sick virtual driving skills. Otherwise, it just came out of nowhere. It was
Yeah. Did either of you watch the short film I put in our chat?
I did without volume because I was lying in bed.
Yeah, there's no
the morning
dialogue or
with
anything,
Maurice.
but it is literally just like the attack on New York is just that 2-minute scene. That,
Oh, no
so
way.
like a lot of the images, like the brick breaker game with the Taj Mahal is out of that, and Donkey Kong
And
throwing stuff
the
down from the top of the Empire
Tetris
State
one
Building.
too.
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of those visual references are directly from the short film.
And
cool.
who wrote the short film?
His name is like Jean-Pierre something. It's like a team of like 12 people. They did the whole
Right.
thing. Yeah,
So is it then that like Adam Sandler bought the rights to
I'd imagine
Pixels?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, or like
Or-
just like the producing company.
yeah. Happy Madison did.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, let's jump on because I have other thoughts about these movies that actually pertain more to these
Yeah.
other things that I want to get to. So let's say
Great.
end of round.
End of round. I'm gonna go really quickly refill my drink, but you take over this round for now.
Okay, great. I will.
We can't do it
so
without
it's-
you, Sean.
Yeah. This is a three-way
okay.
podcast. You're
That's
our
fine.
Martha Stewart.
Who does that make me? Serena Williams. Serena Williams. Serena Williams. Please be Serena Williams.
You're the Peter Dinklage.
Damn it!
It's pretty good.
That is pretty good. I would love to be.
But
Peter
like, if
Dinklage.
I'm going to make the choice, I want to be Serena. So let's move into our second round, which is looks good. So here's the thing. Pixels, talking about looks good, Sean. So Pixels, all of the CG effects of the pixel cubification of stuff and whatnot looks really good.
Yeah.
yeah,
Looks really good. It's pretty cool. I haven't seen anything like that in another movie done in that way. It's kind of unique. It's well executed.
Yeah.
I like it.
and I thought also that they did a great job of setting up the visual tone of the movie right off the bat with like placing the credits in the arcade games and just like
Oh
like,
yeah.
like all that stuff was really
Right.
cool and just setting up kind of like the video game aesthetic right from the get-go. I thought they did a great job of like letting you know what you're in for right away and like and like
Absolutely.
setting the tone.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. Yeah, I thought like I've never seen anything like that before, except in the short film. It's very similar in their style, but certainly they had like big budget Hollywood money to throw at this film, so that reflects in it. The Centipede game was the first time that I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty
now
cool.
I see what you're going for. Right on. All right.
But my problem with the Centipede game, because the graphics were great, but then the shots of Adam Sandler shooting it were so lazy, and like there was no detail. It was just back and forth. He wasn't aiming at anything. It was so simple.
Yeah.
Although that moment where him and Josh Gad are back to back and just like geeking out, hilarious.
Yeah, I would say that was easily the most effective moment of the film on me, probably because of the looks and the choreography as much as there was.
Yeah, it's where the premise kind of shines. Like it's really well executed. It's a really cool sequence.
Yeah.
I like how they act as though there are only two levels in Centipede. Like after two levels the game is over, it's like, aren't there like a bunch of levels in that?
Yeah, and one level of Donkey Kong.
And one level of Donkey Kong. Yeah, whatever, right? It's just whatever.
I've only made it to the second level of Donkey Kong like twice in my life, I think. I don't know whether that means I'm bad or if the game is hard.
I don't know how Donkey Kong works. Is the whole idea to get to the top and kill Donkey Kong, or
eventually you knock him off and you rescue Princess Peach?
Gotcha. I only ever played like the Super Nintendo Donkey Kong, where you're like running through the jungle.
Yeah. So he started in this game as the bad guy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the opposite. So that's what I'd say about Pixels, though, is that stuff looks good. That's about as much as I can say about the looks of this movie. But it's pretty consistent. Like the Pac-Man animation going through the city is like really cool and effective. Like it looks great. All the pixification of people, it's really good.
Yeah, and as much as I kind of chirped the movie for the stunt driving scene, I thought that it was actually pretty fucking exciting. And that whole bit where like he shoots out of the building and Pac-Man gets him just as the timer switches.
Yep.
Really well executed and like visually fucking super fun to watch.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
The thing is, and I mentioned this a little bit before, is Happy Gilmore is a bit better at using visuals to tell the story and to make comedic bits.
Yes.
And that's what I really prefer in terms of kind of looks especially in like a comedic movie. Examples being like making the choice as a look and sound thing that when they're on their like romantic skating date to pull away from them so they're in the background to reveal the Zamboni driver that he's still there and he's singing along for like a while. That's quite funny.
Very funny.
The stuff with like the alligator and having that reappear and having him jump in and headbutt an alligator is very funny, and having it then come back in the box and kill Chubbs. Like that's a little visual gag that we get to experience.
The fight with Bob Barker is a classic. It's not a great choreographed fight because it's Bob Barker. Yeah. But it is surprising when like suddenly he's jabbing him in the face and you're like, oh, okay.
I would say it's Bob probably Barker, the worst part of the movie, but I still agree with you.
I disagree. Also, Bob Barker is fucking alive and kicking at 97 years old.
Is he?
Yeah, I looked it up. I thought he died too, but I think I'm pretty sure, according to my sources, he's still alive.
According to your
conspiracy sources?
Yeah. According to Josh Gad.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
What?
Grumble. Yeah, he is. Age 97. Age 97. Look at him go.
Age 97. Or the closest retail price.
And he and Adam Sandler in 2015 restaged the fight for a charity event. So he would have been 90, I guess.
That's
I
adorable.
Kind of love that. Yeah, I love that so much.
But my favorite. Okay, go ahead. No, because mine's a favorite.
Okay, so just a question about, because you brought up the alligator bits. Was that a real alligator? Not when he's wrestling it in the water, but when we first see it on the green. That's a real alligator, right?
I think so, yeah. If it's not, it's very convincing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it totally was snapping away. They put the golf ball in his mouth, but then when he's killed it in the swamp, they
Definitely, or
switched
like
it.
a rubber. Yeah.
It's very funny though. Like I like cackled when he like headbutted it in the face. This is such a great choice. I'm sure he filmed for a few minutes just beating the shit out of that dummy.
Yeah.
But my favorite visual kind of bit, but like storytelling, is the caddy, his homeless buddy.
Yeah.
Because it's a purely visual bit. I don't think he says anything. He maybe has
No,
a
not at all.
line.
He does talking about the shoe bit is the one
Oh,
one where he has
right.
lines, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was like slope into the left. No, it's only because you're wearing one shoe. Yeah, but he's like more or less doesn't speak, and it's visual storytelling that we learn about Happy Gilmore. We learn that he's like a sweet guy who doesn't look at anyone differently, and if anything, is going to kind of favor the person who has the least, and just treat them as someone, as a person. And we get to watch this guy's journey through the movie. By the end of it, he's there. He's one of the three or four
the
people.
four at the end.
The four. He's one of them.
Yeah.
And now
I love
he has a nice
his
suit on.
His slicked back, terrible hair. It's
You know
so
what I
good.
mean? That like that's like a visual bit. That's just a treat.
Yeah.
It's a treat.
Yeah.
And it tells us a lot.
Yeah, in line with that, I also fucking like almost fell off my couch laughing at the shots of Adam Sandler with his first caddy, where he goes from like
Boy?
jumping
Small
in
child?
circles to just like choking him
Yeah.
to like tackling. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, so they do that on a number of occasions. The choice to have Abraham Lincoln in his
Yeah. Why the
Right.
fuck not,
mission
right?
at the end.
Right.
What?
Why not? With the alligator and Carl Weathers. Yeah.
Yeah, or like pure cinematic comedy of watching when he's also trying. I don't like the sequence of it. I think it's kind of lame. But when he's trying to like seduce his girlfriend at the beginning back into his apartment,
Right.
and it's a bad bit. He's not very funny, but
Yeah.
the filming is funny. Because
Yeah.
we have a kid standing out there, and then it cuts back to him, then it cuts back, and there's like a courier cyclist, and like a bike courier, and like an old Asian woman,
Yeah.
and like that's very funny. That's a purely visual.
And then he finishes the song and opens the door, and the Asian lady has come upstairs, and she's ready to be wooed.
And I laughed
And then spends the night.
Yeah.
when the
It's
actual
funny
song
shit.
kicks in.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's
I think
funny.
the only visual thing that was really tiresome for me was it got to a certain point where I couldn't not keep count of all the ads that I was seeing for things.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, there's Subway again. Oh, there's Visa. Oh, Michelob. Okay. Oh, okay. Visa again. Subway. All right.
The Subway stuff is wild.
That's
It's
so
a
funny.
lot.
I don't think I saw any of that.
Would you like me to read my list?
Yes.
Wait, you didn't see the Subway stuff?
I saw that. No, I saw the Subway stuff. I made a
Okay.
note when they were sitting in Subway, and my note was going to be just like gripe, shameless Subway product placement. But then they immediately make a joke out of it, and I was like, oh, that was intentional. It's kind of clever.
That
and then
lifted my spirits a little bit when they did that. But let me read you my list. This is visual and audio monetizing through advertising.
Okay.
So
all right.
Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, Crystal Pepsi, or Pepsi Crystal, whatever that was. Visa, Michelob, Subway, Red Lobster, Subway again, fucking Subway, Budweiser, ESPN, Bell Atlantic, AT&T, Sizzler, Subway. It's like 5 Subways in total.
Yeah. Did you get the ones for Pixels too, or?
It was mostly Budweiser for Pixels, or Bud Light.
And a couple cars, obviously the minis,
yeah, the
obviously
minis, yeah.
a little mini
Right.
advertisement. They're great in those colors. I want one.
I
I
do
also want some
actually
Subway
want a mini.
and like a
Minis
Pepsi.
seem-
I
I
could
want
go
to
for
eat
Subway.
a Subway sandwich in a mini with Adam Sandler driving it.
Ooh, I could go for that.
I want Adam Sandler in the back seat.
That's his next
Oh.
movie, actually. Adam Sandler driving people around eating Subway sandwiches. Don't get anything on the linoleum.
It's like a YouTube series.
Yeah, I can't wait for that to gross like 200 million.
Yeah. Comedians in cars eating Subway.
Yeah.
People in cars with Adam Sandler eating Subway.
Eating Subway, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the point is there's a lot of stuff outside of the ads that I think is really quite effective.
Pixels is shock and awe.
Pixels is
and
shock and awe.
Happy Gilmore is little bit of creativity in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like the golf sequences, I think are pretty well done.
they are.
They had some great shots of people really hitting balls, which does help to do the real thing. Like
Those
people had to make
putts.
real putts a couple times. That means just they had to keep doing it until they got it, which thank you. Because in a movie like this, where they have people putting so much and putting is a big part of it, if you have them if there's never a single shot of someone hitting the ball and it going in, especially from like a bit of a longer distance, then what are you doing? Like, why are you even making movies? Just do it. Just take the time. So
I think the only animated shot was his first hole in one, and they animate the ball rolling into the cup.
right.
And that's
Did
it.
they?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't notice that.
that's it.
So yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoyed
I
it.
think that's looks.
Yeah, I think that's really about it. I mean, I also love just like the film that Happy Gilmore was shot on. The look of it is such a classic for me to be like that classic look of
Yeah.
movies, like movies that I grew up with
Yeah.
looked like this. They had that. It's not grainy. It's just
It's the like
Like a-
SNL field equipment, right? From
Yeah.
the mid '90s.
yeah. It's just a bit more smudgy. Like the lines
Yeah.
aren't as crisp. And when
Yeah,
I
there's
see
some nice texture to it.
Yeah, and when I see movies now or like shows when they're done in like high def 4K, I'm like, like
Oh, it's so bad now.
It's so jarring.
bad. Yeah.
the 60 frame per second shit that like
Yeah.
isn't good. It's not nice, like satisfying to the eye, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
And then you have the like most TVs come default with the like motion fluidity settings turned on. So with the ultra high def things, it like smooths the transitions between the pixels and makes everything look super weird and uncomfortable. Yeah.
Blech.
So
well, end of round. That sounds like it. Let's move into
Yep.
our next round, which is sounds good.
Yeah, I'm torn. I'm torn with
Nailed
these
it.
two movies because they both follow the same kind of let's
Yeah.
play like nostalgic classic rock music at like really fun amp up moments of the movie.
Yep.
And that's gonna carry us through. And I love it in both films, but it's the same kind of formula.
yeah, it's the
right?
same
So-
mind, right? I will say
Yeah.
that once again this week we have another sinner. We have another sound editor, a sound mixer that needs to be ashamed of themselves because whoever mixed Pixels needs to reevaluate their life. That's another like, oh, it's a million decibels. Oh, now I can't hear it. Oh, it's a million decibels. Oh, now I can't hear it. Okay, great, fantastic.
That's so weird. I'm the person this week who didn't have that problem.
I didn't have
Really?
that problem at all. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe it was
sorry.
just my stream, but it was unfucking believable.
You know
That's
it's
too
on
bad.
Netflix, right?
Now I do.
Yeah, the Netflix stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, the completely, totally legal Netflix stream I watched.
Yeah. But how it came through on your computer. Yeah. I mean, but I agree with you, Dan. They both do have that same kind of rote formula of how to manipulate you into enjoying a sequence by having a sweet jam come on that you're like, cool, what you're doing is now awesome. Even though you're just like walking out of a car. But
Yeah.
now it's cool as shit.
Yeah. Surrender.
Yeah.
When you-
Surrender. All right. Yeah. Okay.
When the sequence is clearly they filmed it, which must have been hilarious, just like Kevin James and Adam Sandler and Josh Gad and Michelle Monaghan trapped in this movie with them,
Yeah.
just like holding these like shitty props and just like pointing them around at the sky, and then and that was it. And they put in all this great CG and a dope song, and suddenly you're like, okay. That now I mean, you know what? Now I'm smiling.
That is sadly
making?
most of filmmaking these days.
Yeah.
You just put some actors in front of a
Yeah.
green screen, have them point at stuff, and then you do the rest in post.
You mean
Isn't
the
that
James
bugs?
Gunn theory of filmmaking?
Ooh,
Yes.
burn.
Burn.
Ooh, shots fired.
I have a sound gripe with
Yeah. Okay.
with
Ooh.
Pixels
Okay.
in that the orange trophy alien thing speaks English for some reason.
It's Qbert, by the way. Is his
Yeah,
name.
thank you.
Hubert.
Thank you.
Hubert.
Yeah, speaks English. Yeah.
Also, sorry, we're out of this category now, but
Lay
I
it
have
on
a big
us.
story gripe too with
Yeah.
Qbert in that
Yeah.
they get an English-speaking alien, like member of the alien race that is invading them, and instead of asking it questions or studying it in any way, they just like make it a pet.
Yeah, they babysit it.
They babysit it until the last moment when suddenly they think it might be beneficial to ask it some things about
Correct.
the mothership after this woman has lost
Yeah.
her son.
Yeah, it wasn't immediately like locked up in a test facility and like electrocuted until it gave answers and information, which
Or-
it would have been if
Yes.
this were real.
Especially since like the sergeant or the lieutenant of the military there has been established as like this trigger happy fucking war hungry dude.
Yeah. Brian Cox, what are you doing in here
Man,
too?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up in acting, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to it. I want to give a sound like to Happy Gilmore. The sound that they made for his drives is deeply satisfying every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That like cool.
Yeah.
It was so
pretty good.
satisfying. I want you to know, because this movie has such an effect on me. When I went to driving ranges as a kid, I would drive with a run up like that because
Of course,
I
we all
had seen
did.
Happy Gilmore. Okay, good. Just making
We did
sure.
school trips to the local driving range, and yeah, everyone. That's the first 20 shots you take. Were running up and trying to hit it before the teacher yelled at you.
Right.
My big Happy Gilmore habit was just going around asking people if they eat pieces of shit for breakfast.
Nice. We're pinging balls on the driving range. You're coming up being like, "Hey, do you eat pieces of shit?" And we're like,
Yeah.
"What?"
And then I wonder why I had no friends in school. I also have a sound like for Happy Gilmore, and that is Carl Weathers' Sweet Sweet Pipes.
His pipes.
Yeah, dude can sing. Dude's got a heavenly
As
angelic
Chubbs?
voice. As Chubbs.
Yeah.
What was he singing?
In the happy place.
And yeah, when after he's died and he's singing and he's like, I got my hands back.
Oh yeah. right.
And like the piano's still playing. And he keeps
Do you know
going.
why? Do you know why they wrote him to have one hand?
Why?
As an homage to Predator, where he gets his arm ripped off.
Oh, that's funny.
No way.
I
That's great.
wish I couldn't tell if they intentionally made that prosthetic
Terrible.
terrible or if it was just like bad work.
Yeah.
The fact that it was
cheap.
like 2 feet longer than a regular arm, clearly just a thing that he's holding under his fucking sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah, clear. Oh my God. But that's so funny though. Again, that the whole visual bit of his hand was also
Yeah.
so fun. That it would just cut to him watching while Happy was failing and he'd be gluing his hand back together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are great bits.
Fantastic.
There were people
so-
there were people directing this movie who really wanted it to be good. Sorry.
Yeah, they were coming up with ideas in the moment, and they were trying things, and they were seeing what worked, and if it didn't work, then they were putting things in that helped solve those issues, and they were thinking in the moment, and there was none of that in Pixels.
Yeah. No, there wasn't.
A lot of that largely is because when you start getting funding from more production studios and more sources who have more invested interest in making sure the film turns a profit rather than is a like good intellectual property, then you don't really have the flexibility to make those changes on the fly. So maybe
Right.
it's not totally their fault.
Maybe.
But this is directed by Chris Columbus and produced by him and Mark Radcliffe, who helmed the Harry Potter series. And Chris Columbus has directed many of our like favorite films from the 90s and 2000s. So such a like flub for him.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so that was Pixels or Happy Gilmore?
Pixels.
Pixels.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty weak directorially. Anyway, but let's just see. Like, is there anything else that we would say
For
for
sound?
sound though? Like, as we kind of said, that really that's it. They both just play dope tunes from the past at opportune times. Like they're.
Yeah.
I would give a bit more credit to Happy Gilmore for having more like sound bits. Same thing as like the Zamboni driver lip syncing is a funny sound joke. like I said, when the music kicks in, when Adam Sandler is singing into his intercom, and then the door opens and it's the old Asian woman from downstairs, and the real song kicks in. That's quite funny. Like there are funny. The fact that they're having a meeting discussing whether or not Happy Gilmore can stay in the league, and he swears and is bleeped out underneath the entire
I thought that was a brilliant moment.
Is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's quite funny. And it's purely a sound bit. Like so that's just good filmmaking. When you're using everything you can to help us laugh and tell the story a bit more, you might be making a good film.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Maybe.
Well,
end of round. I'm doing it. Moving on to our fourth round, I think we have some things to say because there are a lot of people to talk about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is acts good.
Yeah.
Can we talk about all the underused actors in Pixels?
Absolutely. Brian Cox, what are you doing in this film, buddy?
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean, still making the most out of what he had.
Sean Bean for what he had.
But
I thought he was.
We're making a beer commercial.
Yeah. What kind of beer commercial is this?
Commercial. It's a bloody beer commercial.
Yeah, that was silly because that guy, like, there's a fucking war going on the field. The guy whispers that under his breath, and Sean Bean from across the field is like, I heard that.
Yeah, I like that they ushered them all off the field, but only like 20 meters.
Yeah, didn't make them leave. Just said, go over
There's
there.
There's going to be an alien invasion. Just go stand by the pitch, where the pitch ends. Yeah.
We have a little barricade if you could just stand behind that.
Yeah.
That they all stuck around too. Anyway, it was pretty weird. Sean Bean, Brian Cox is. They also seemed like they were setting him up to be like the villain.
A villain, or that
he was going to betray Earth somehow. Like,
it
was
like
weird.
He had no like there was no direction for him, so all he was doing was just being a mean guy and like a war hawk kind of guy, and all of their interpretations of American political life are very like surface level stupid stuff that maybe in 2015 was funny because people still had vague faith in their governments, and so to see that, it's like ha 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 ha. But now it's like, okay, let's get more nuance than that, please.
Yeah.
This film wasn't going for nuance, Sean.
There
was no room for nuance in this movie.
Okay.
Nuance would have ruined this film. Is my theory.
I could have made it really dumb.
Yeah.
It was Tron, but dumb, and dumb was good for Dumbtron.
Dumbtron. I love that.
Jane Krakowski we talked about.
Yes.
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, I just want to add a new hashtag to our list of hashtags for this show, and that is hashtag Don't Let Dinklage Do Accents.
Why did he do an accent?
Why?
He was playing an American. He's an American. Just do your own voice.
What
I also
was
don't
that
think
accent?
it was some kind of Southern, I think, but I don't think that that younger Dinklage had an accent either.
He did.
No.
He
It would
it
have
up
been
in
funny
prison.
if like he had put it on, like the same way that he gave himself a nickname, that he gave himself an accent, and then they're like, why are you talking like that?
Yeah.
He's like, this is how I always talked.
Yeah.
That would have been funny, actually.
I was so ready to enjoy Peter Dinklage in this film. And
I mean, I still enjoyed him.
I couldn't.
No,
I didn't think he was bad. I just think that the
bad.
accent was distracting. His character was bad. Like his character was written poorly. But again, you work with what you got.
Yeah, but there was enough there for someone to make something out of it.
The accent, I just couldn't get past his bad accent. I didn't know what he was trying to do.
It was
It was written poorly because you're supposed to sympathize with him, but they give you nothing to sympathize with, really, at all. Even at the end, he gives in and says he's the best, and then he's rewarded with his threesome. I don't know.
Look, he deserves a trophy.
They all deserve their shiny wife trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
The tragedy of Jane Krakowski. This film alone needs to go to hell for its misuse of the brilliant comedic mind of Jane Krakowski.
I will agree with that quite a bit. Yeah, it's not okay.
Yeah, she should have been the hero of this movie. I would have watched a Jane Krakowski led version of Dumbtron.
Yeah. Jane
Oh,
Krakowski.
Jane
If the
Krakowski
movie
in
was called
Dumbtron?
Dumbtron with Jane Krakowski, that's a
Oh,
brilliant film right there.
Oh, that's so good. And it's like, it's just an extended skit from 30 Rock.
Yeah.
Like from
Yeah,
whatever their SNL
the rural
spin-off
juror,
show
yeah.
on 30 Rock, whatever that show they do.
TGS.
TGS. It's just TGS, a skit. Anyway, that'd be great.
Fantastic.
We love you, Jane Krakowski. That's the point. Yeah, that's really bad. And also, I don't like Michelle Monaghan can do really good stuff.
Yeah.
What else have I seen her in?
True Detective, I believe.
The first season?
First season, yeah. Woody Harrelson's
Wife?
wife. I believe that's Michelle Monaghan.
Yeah. I haven't seen it in a while. She's in Mission Impossible 3, I believe, as well.
There you go.
Lots of stuff.
Is it just me, or does she look a lot like my former roommate Laura?
I don't think I ever saw her, so.
Jack
Your
did.
former roommate Laura barely
In
looks
the
like a human being. So
Oh.
Ooh,
Hot take.
Careful, man. She listens to this podcast for sure.
Falling outs are fun.
Oh, aren't
if you're wondering at home, Laura sucks. So anyway, the standing
Likewise,
up for
they? Thanks,
Julie,
buddy.
Julie Bowen in Happy Gilmore had nothing to do. She's a pretty good actress.
She was
Modern-
the PR person?
Yeah. She's in Modern Family. She's the mom.
She's a pretty bad actor.
She's the mom in Modern
Happy
Family.
Gilmore.
Yeah.
I thought that she was actually kind of hard to watch in Happy Gilmore.
Yeah,
And I
because
love her
her
Modern
lines
Family.
were cringeworthy.
Yeah, but she was also doing a bit of fucking scenery chewing in this film.
Yeah. Early career
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like fine because she's in Happy Gilmore, but
Yeah.
she's
Right.
not good. I'm not going to
Any
pretend
other
that she
film,
was
sure.
good.
Right.
Joe Flaherty, rocking it with his
Jackass guy?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Treasure.
Kevin Nealon
More of
was-
him.
was so funny.
I thought there was more Kevin Nealon in this
I thought there
film.
was too.
Who is Kevin Nealon again?
The guy he's
he-
paired up with in the first professional tournament.
He's like the flow.
Oh, right.
There's circles and it goes in. It's like a merry-go-round, and he does his bits. Those were great.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Those were very funny. I mean, we got to talk about Adam.
Yep.
Adam is not good.
What?
I mean,
What?
he's not a really good actor in these movies. He gets the characters
I disagree, man. I think that. Oh, sorry, I'm not going to cut you off. Finish
No,
what you're
you
saying.
can cut me off. Well, I often go on too long.
And we got to be heated. We got to keep the likes going. They like fighting. The internet likes fights. Fight.
I think Adam Sandler. This is going to be a really weird comparison, but I liken Adam Sandler's style of acting to like the Ryan Reynoldses of the world.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, you know what I mean? Like they have found their niche
right?
shtick,
Yeah.
yeah.
of just kind of like being themselves in every role, whether it be an exaggerated version or not. But like within that, they have some really nice, like subtle human moments, even in Pixels. Like I think he's a good actor when it comes to simulating emotion and real human conversations.
Yeah.
In these two movies. In other movies, I think he's done exceptional work across the gamut. But I think that in these two movies, he's just a good actor in terms of like playing a human being in these circumstances.
Yeah, it's a bit of my look. It's
And
me.
he's funny
I have
as
to go
fuck.
back. I have to go back and challenge my golf snob self,
Right.
and kind of come back and agree with you because I did enjoy him in these movies. It's not saying I didn't enjoy him. Just there are times when I see him like kind of Happy Gilmore. He actually looks like he's just not. He's barely doing anything, which is fine. I think even though it's like a schlockier movie in Pixels, he does seem like he actually has a bit more like acting chops. As weird as that weird as that is.
Well, it's 20 years later or whatever it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah.
makes
I
sense.
know.
I was gonna say the reverse, but to just the like schlub everyman persona that he puts on in movies. When he was filming Pixels, a mutual acquaintance of ours was working as a hostess in Yorkville at the hotel he was staying at with his family while he was filming, and they said that he just looked like a sad, tired man who had his kids with him on a work trip and was just tired and sad wherever he was in the hotel. So,
Oh no.
but he's staying in Yorkville, so like he's got the finest hotel suites money can buy, and he's just kind of schlubbing around the hotel like.
Adam, just do what you need to do, buddy.
Well, you know what? I think he's only truly happy when he's making cinematic masterpieces like Pixels.
Yeah,
Everything else,
I'm sure he was very happy to be doing what he was doing. Yeah,
It's the real life that's work, you know?
Yeah. So like he kind of does. He has a bit of an anti-acting style, where like
But,
again
like-
he plays against. But I agree that it works. Like I do enjoy him. I want to make that clear. I enjoy him.
I also think that this like misconception that someone seeming like they're doing nothing on camera is actually like a bad form of acting, because that's hard to do. Like
Yeah.
being so kind of comfortable in front of a camera that you're just kind of there. And
it
like,
isn't. It isn't. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, because he
Yeah.
wasn't wooden. He's definitely an animated person.
Yeah, sometimes he doesn't entirely match the scene that's going on.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. Yes, I will give you that. But I
That's
think
the
that
thing.
that he always seems like they were very. I think that I would rather see him do that than me watch him and being like, "Oh, buddy, you're fucking acting your ass off right now."
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll take a lazy Adam Sandler over like an overworked Josh Gad.
I'll take these Adam
fuck you.
Sandlers.
Josh Gad can do no wrong.
Yeah,
You're
let's
an
get to
asshole.
Josh Gad in a second.
Okay. Can we not?
I will take these Adam Sandlers over the Adam Sandlers where he just plays like
Sandy Wexler.
and like people with like disabilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Lisps and limps and
and all this different stuff, or like straight up has a mental illness, like in The Water Boy, or Billy Madison is also kind of like similar. Like, I'll take this Adam Sandler any day. This is the Adam Sandler that I would like to see more of. But what I want Wedding Singer and stuff like that. Anyway,
I wonder how Waterboy would hold up now.
we'll have to do it. It's not a class. Is it a classic? Is it really?
I don't
think it's a
so.
classic of sorts. I think a classic in that everybody knows and has fond memories of the Waterboy.
Not like Happy Gilmore though.
Yeah. Happy Gilmore is the founding of a company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Josh Gad.
I love you,
Gad,
Josh.
Sean. Josh Gad is
A
honestly,
national treasure.
Yeah,
He's
I
a
mean,
national treasure.
sure.
I don't know how you can criticize this man. You know what I mean?
I've never found him entertaining.
He has been on Broadway. All right.
I don't care.
Yep.
He's like
can
in
sing.
sing
Been on
roles.
Broadway.
He can sing. That's like him really singing. He's a talented
I
guy.
saw the scene. They shoehorned into it so they could get him singing.
Yeah. You're welcome for that.
I did not enjoy it.
They had Chubb singing in the other one,
Yeah,
and
that's
this
funny.
one we get Josh Gad. Okay.
Yeah.
He's in Frozen, beloved franchise. Okay, as one of the
Isn't he
most
also
beloved
in-
characters.
Isn't he also in Into the Woods?
No, that's James Corden.
Right. Fuck you, James Corden. Josh
Yeah.
Gad. Josh Gad should have been in
Josh
that
Gad-
movie.
Look, he's crazy, but he's super energetic. He's the only person like doing a movie, and meanwhile you have like Kevin James and Adam Sandler cashing checks.
Yeah.
And Josh Gad is wild. Sometimes he goes really far in a direction that you're like, what are you doing? And other times he just made me laugh because he was throwing himself at walls. And that was
Okay.
fun because he was the crazy conspiracist man.
So maybe I haven't seen enough of him. I have never watched a Josh God performance and said to myself at the end, boy, I did enjoy what he did. So maybe if you have movie recommendations wherein he is enjoyable to watch, perhaps I can be convinced that
I
he
can
is-
think of one. It's called Pixels.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh,
have you seen
rock on.
Pixels?
Have you seen Pixels?
Unfortunately, I have.
He's actually pretty fun. It gets a bit tiresome again in the third act because, or like the whatever you want to call it, the final act of Pixels, because the final act is bad. The whole Donkey Kong, whatever
Yeah.
final, it's all pretty bad. So even his character falls apart. But his stuff, his first interaction, where he has been waiting in the back of his van, and the whole chloroform scene is actually like pretty funny, and started to pick me up a little bit more.
I will
when
say
needed to
that
pick
is
me
where
up.
energy entered the film.
Yeah.
Is with
Yeah,
him.
that's
I
true.
will give him that.
Yeah, I made a note that this movie actually kind of like started to be a movie when Josh Gad enters it.
Correct.
Yeah, the development starts there. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone else is like cool. They're all trying to do that thing where it's like, I'm an older guy, but it doesn't mean that I'm not cool. And I get my woman at the end. And Josh Gad is like, I'm gonna die virgin. Ah!
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm
It
doing
was
I'm doing
nice.
a pretty good interpretation.
It was nice that that person was not Kevin James. It was nice to see Kevin James not kind of just like
this is where he's a little too
flounder
old
around.
to be that role now. He's moving into his elder statesman phase of his career, where he only plays presidents, generals, UFC entertainers, and
the fact that they fucking made him the president of the United States in this
funny.
movie is
I think
it's
that's
like a
my biggest-
crime against cinema.
I think if they had not included the presidency or the White House as a major force in this film, it would have been a better film. If it had just been kind of like a Stranger Things grown up kind of film, it would be more enjoyable than like he grew up to be the president and now I get to go to the White House.
Yeah.
And he's also just like casually having beers in like a local pub.
Yeah, and like standing within 20 feet of the common people. That doesn't happen anymore.
Never, yeah.
Yeah, but whatever. It's a movie. That kind of stuff. I'm like, whatever.
That's fine. That's fine.
Can we? Okay, go ahead, Sean.
I
Go
would
ahead.
like to mention Richard Keel in Happy Gilmore, who, if you watched the James Bond anthology, played Jaws, the evil villain in the Roger Moore years, who
of course
had metal teeth.
Yeah,
he's Mr. Larson, the boss that gets a nail gun to the head, and he's delightful.
Yeah. He can't
He's so
walk, right?
sweet.
He can't stand. He was always leaning. He had
a cane.
and then he was leaning on someone. And then when he's running after a shooter at the end, he's clearly just doing this, and he's like being wheeled. So I hope he's okay.
He's dead now, but
well, I hope he was okay until he died.
Yeah.
That kind of bridges me though to who I think was the real standout performer. I mean this genuinely of the whole thing, which was Christopher McDonald as Shooter McGavin.
Yeah, he was good.
I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's an iconic comedic villain.
Okay.
Like in terms of what movies in the 90s and early 2000s are trying to do with their like comedy villains, I think he nailed it.
He's an anchor point.
He's the definitive one. This movie would be bad if he wasn't so good. Not bad. It would be way worse. Like an Adam Sandler wouldn't work. It works because he is almost flawless in my opinion. He's amazing.
Yeah, I would agree. My only problem is that I can't watch him do anything and not see him in Requiem for a Dream, which has left such like
I saw this before Requiem,
scar on my psyche.
I don't
so
remember.
He's like forever ever tainted for me. But I agree. I think he's outstanding in this movie. But it just like it's hard to kind of separate him from the other stuff that he's done.
Yeah.
But yes, awesome job.
All right.
Christopher.
Yeah,
great
he
work.
has a bunch of stuff in it that just little moments where like someone's touching his jacket and he's just like he's doing the scene, but he's looking down at her hand while it's as long as it's there because just because that's bugging him kind of stuff. He's just he's very funny as well on his own. Like he's just the movie to me is actually more about like he's the real star. He kind of stole the movie in my opinion a little bit from Adam Sandler, who's supposed to be the main character.
He's a great foil and a great kind of counterweight to Adam. Like there's a really outstanding balance between the two of them, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is good. But I also want to talk about who I think legitimately is the outstanding kind of performance of both these films, and that's Josh Gad. I think Sean, what are your thoughts on that?
On Josh Gad.
On Jash God.
On Jash God?
Yeah.
I have been very eloquent in my delineations of where my thoughts stand on Jash God. I will say no more upon the matter, no comment.
Fine.
Yeah.
And the guy who played Chubbs,
Fine.
what's his name again? He was really
Carl
good.
Weathers? Delightful.
Apollo Creed, man.
Yeah, Carl Weathers. Yeah, he was really good.
He was great. The grandma was great. I thought the acting generally, the grandma was dope. Ben Stiller was Ben Stiller was surprisingly nuanced in this movie. Actually, I thought.
I was like, but yeah, I'm not gonna fight you.
I'm with you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Fine.
And with that, end of round.
Oh shit! End of round. So moving into our lightning round, likes and gripes. I got a bunch written down. Which is our 2-minute lightning round, where we just get out anything that we didn't say in these segments, either likes or gripes.
Sean spills his drink on his computer.
Uh-oh.
Fuck.
Are you okay, Sean? Do you need to?
Let's
Oh.
see.
As
It
a
should be
small
fine,
fire
should be
starts on his
fine,
keyboard.
Should be fine.
Was it like on the computer?
It was
or like
beside
near?
the computer with,
Okay, that's different.
mild spillage onto a key.
Oh, I think you're okay.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
All right.
I'll fire in some likes around the spill clean.
Okay, great.
Great.
Are you ready to go first?
Yeah.
Did Sean, me, you?
Sure is.
Got it.
Ready in 3, 2, 1, go.
Like the amazing golf ball whacker guy.
Gripe, Dan Aykroyd.
Gripe, the Boston Bruins.
Gripe, the Boston Bruins.
Like yelling yoo-hoo while holding a case of yoo-hoos.
Like Chubb's giant plate of fruit salad.
Like the guns don't kill people, I kill people t-shirt.
I loved that. Like stunt moonwalking legs.
Oh my God, Gripe, stunt moonwalking legs. I hate
I
that.
thought it was hilarious.
Gripe, stunt moonwalking legs.
Yeah.
Like making fun of Adam Sandler's stupid fucking shorts.
Like the Maple Leafs pennant in the background in his apartment.
Like Sean Bean.
Like the phrase walking wiener coat.
Gripe, the door to the Situation Room just being open.
Gripe, the title of Mini Ghosts.
Like Josh Gad's drill sergeant monologue.
Yeah, agreed. Gripe, shut up. It's a like, Sean. Gripe, any romantic storyline about the woman smelling good.
Gripe, Josh Gad's pathetic improvisation in the military drill.
Oh, fuck you, Sean. Gripe, Kevin James as the illiterate president. We didn't talk about that.
Like Bob Barker.
Like my one Josh Gad like. I'm on an all-protein diet, but also doing carbs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gripe, throwing an ornate ball while at war with aliens.
Gripe that the Bucky Larson actor was in this movie.
Gripe, the love story.
Like Will Sasso.
Will Sasso likes claps for the hero. Which there were like 6 of in Pixels.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Dan. That drill sergeant moment was probably the best part of these two movies.
Fucking shit.
It was fucking hilarious.
It was
not
not
pretty
funny
funny.
in any way, shape, or form.
It was Sean.
I don't know who you two are. And
How? No, how did you like Amanda Bynes' stupid shit so much?
It's because Sean lets his biases get in the way of his objective
Daniel,
opinions of movies.
You keep saying that people have objective beliefs in films, and like film critique is just subjective thought. I don't know where you think that there's any objectivity in film review.
I'm
really just doing it to
criticizing your
poke the bear a little
subjective
bit.
thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm saying how can your thoughts have fallen on these subjective beliefs?
Well, talk to my therapist. I don't know.
Again? Fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's rate these things. This probably won't take long. We got our 5 categories, or we got 4 official categories, and then we got a rewatchability at the end. So, in terms of story good, who wants to put points where?
This is generally tough because Pixels is an incredibly imaginative story premise that is poorly executed, and Happy Gilmore is kind of your more like ho-hum Adam Sandler film premise that is well executed. So in that regard, Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, I think I gotta go Happy Gilmore too.
Yeah, it's 1,000,000% Happy Gilmore. Yeah.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, fun premise, but not. You couldn't call it a story.
No.
Yeah. Looks is tricky.
Yeah.
Because
Go ahead.
No,
go
just
ahead,
because that's what we talked about. That like some of the stuff they did in Pixels looks pretty incredible.
Well, yeah, and I think for that reason, I kind of have to go Pixels. I mean, there's a lot of funny visual gags in Happy Gilmore, and everything's really well executed. But I think that Pixels is more fun to look at, and there's a lot more exciting moments in Pixels, and that is wholly due to the visuals. The centipede bit, the Pac-Man chase scene, I mean, the attack on New York was but I just think that there's a lot more visually happening with Pixels, and like not a lot of it is poorly done.
It carries the movie on its back.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's tough. I think I'm leaning Happy Gilmore mostly because by the end the visuals in Pixels just become a blur, and it's nonsensical and hard to follow. So Happy Gilmore.
look, I know
those two. Oh, have you voted, Jack?
I haven't voted yet, and I'm gonna say, as much as I know it's nice to sometimes give a chance to movies and whatnot, I have to say Happy Gilmore still. It's still full of
All right.
Right on.
iconic shots. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Which one has songs that you like more?
I like
for
all
my
of
money,
them.
I'm going Pixels.
Pixels.
Yeah.
I can only go on the movie I watched, and I watched a movie that was mixed incredibly poorly, so I got to go Happy Gilmore.
Right.
Yeah. Look, they both had songs that I thought were fun. Happy Gilmore was the movie that also did other sound things.
Right. Okay. Well, that's game then, I guess.
That's the win.
Those
Is
are
it going to be a
those-
sweep?
Those are the 3 lives.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, see what I did there?
I see
It's
what
like,
you
in
did
the,
there.
it's like
That's
in the
good.
movie. You know, Josh Gad's. Anyway. Acting. Act's good. Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. Happy
Yeah,
Gilmore.
Happy
No, is it
Gilmore.
gonna happen? Is it happening right now?
I mean,
we-
yeah.
Are we going?
'Cause-
clean?
All right, here
Ooh,
comes rewatchability.
Rewatchability surprise category.
Happy Gilmore.
Ooh, Happy Gilmore.
Pixels.
Ugh, all right.
No. I mean, okay. I will say though, I think I'd happily watch either one of these movies again.
I would maybe watch Pixels again.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Like when the movie started, I was like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
I'm in for 2 hours of shit.
Because those kids at the beginning suck.
Oh, sucks so
They
hard.
suck.
They were fucking.
I had the
awful.
reverse experience. I started this film and was like, okay, I went in like fully believing that Pixels is going to be better than I think it's going to be, and I was ready for it to be better than I thought it was going to be, and I was enjoying the opening couple scenes of the film, and then it just like nosedived and never recovered.
Oh, that's so interesting. I think because I went in expecting it to be a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Right.
And it wasn't quite that. I was like pleasantly surprised and open to whatever they were trying to feed me.
Right on.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
I think I had that experience too.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a 5-0 clean sweep right there, boys.
Oh God.
Boom.
Which means
The Citizen Kane of the week obviously is
I wanna kiss you all over.
Happy Gilmore. Good job, Happy.
Great.
good
Claps
job,
for the
Happy.
hero. That's why
But
we
I think
clap
the-
at the end of this podcast. Claps for the hero.
Pixels got fewer votes than Bucky Larson did.
That is sad. I think though the real winner,
Yeah,
the
but
real
like it's
winner
Orgasmo.
here, the real winner here, guys, is us as a team for having the privilege of watching both of these amazing movies. Am I right?
A true privilege.
I had fun.
But it's been an honor knowing you, gentlemen.
I will say that this was maybe the most fun I've had watching movies for this podcast in like weeks. So there's no
Really?
lose. Oh yeah.
I have fun watching the movies no matter what they are.
Yeah.
There's
Attack of the
there are
Crab
some weeks-
Monsters was wicked.
Yeah, last week was great. I quite enjoyed last
Oh,
week.
see, I like Godzilla, Attack of the Crab Monsters. I was like, it felt like the longest hour of my life. There are some weeks where I like straight up resent you guys for the movies we're watching. Most weeks I have fun, but I really enjoyed these.
Next
two
week
films.
we have MVP 1 going against MVP 3. So
Great. So I'm quitting the podcast.
Are they minus for good?
they're mine.
They're yours.
They
Okay,
are
great.
My pick
Great,
is,
okay, good.
What are the last movies that Jack picked?
Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
So next week we're chasing money. Is our tie-in theme. Actually, it's going to
Okay.
be the first week where technically the schlock film is a remake of sorts of the classic film.
Okay.
So the classic film is 1963's. It's a mad world. Which Simpsons
Four
formats.
Mads? Okay.
Simpsons fans will know the cat burglar episode at the end where where they all rush to find the treasure under the gold under the T.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's an homage to that, and it's going up against in the schlock category 2001's Rat Race.
Rat Race.
With fucking Mr. Bean and
John
he was in
Cleese.
Junior and stuff.
Yeah, John
And
Lovitz,
John Lovitz,
Whoopi
right.
Goldberg.
Interesting schlock choice. Because
That's real schlock.
Yeah,
That's schlock, but also like that's a fairly beloved movie.
It's
as
fun.
Schlock.
Yeah, I think both
No,
movies are
it's
going to be
good.
fun. But
yeah, I think they'll be fun and they'll have a good chance against one another.
yeah.
Rat Race. I haven't seen Rat Race.
It's a mad world also supposed to be like a fun romp comedy, or is it more?
Yeah,
okay.
it's a wacky early '60s. Or the famous Simpsons scene where Bart's talking to the guy in the car who's slowly sinking. "I'll get you, boy," is straight from the movie.
Oh, perfect. All right,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Great.
That's fun.
Yeah,
I
on.
haven't seen Rat Race in like 20 years. I guess I saw it. I think I saw it when it first came out.
Well, you're gonna enjoy the very timely rendition of Smash Mouth's
Yeah, I was gonna say.
All Star.
I can't wait to hear Smash Mouth again. You
One of
exactly what I
the
was thinking
20
of.
films of the year of 2001 that used the song.
What was going on, eh? I feel like I saw that movie over the course of 2 years. Like I saw it probably like 8 times. I think it was just on all the
When
time.
it was on the movie channel. Yeah.
It was like parents just loved showing it to their kids. Like it wasn't my choice. It was like my parents and my friends' parents would just put on Rat Race. And I just saw it a bunch of times. I don't know
That's
why.
really funny.
So yeah, yay.
Yeah. Woo.
Well, thanks everyone. Thanks for listening. Click those buttons. Bother Carrie Elways. And that's it. That's it.
I love you.
Oh.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Oh no.
What were you
Oh
doing?
no. Sorry, Mom. I mean, fuck. Oh God. I'm just having a freak out. When you have a nightmare where you're not wearing any underwear. It's for comedy. Fucking end it. And.
Sorry. Citizen Kane versus.
I love you. Oh fuck.